Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we've got race number 12 here for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. And oh boy, do we have some storylines in the making. So first off, we obviously have the regulars here in the series, all from EDE. We got your Clayton Montgomerys, your Nico Garcias, and obviously your points leader Alan Elwood in the field as usual, along with the rest of his teammates that are not exactly pushovers. We got one of his teammates, Richard Thomas, making a one-off race here tonight, looking very fast. We got the return and the full-time ride now from both the Tommy Ryan and Jeff Ryan. We got an addition with JP Phillips. Anybody that's a CRN fan out there and remembers the UCRL series, obviously JP is not exactly a slouch behind the wheel. We got the return of Tyler Skozen and brain fart now. Tyler Skozen and James Scioli from the eNASCAR College Series. And then you got the return of Nick Nickerson as well. So, yeah, Jimmy, I asked you beforehand. I'm going to give you a simple question once again. Who you got tonight? I mean, who you got for the top 10? I mean, what a stacked field out here. And, oh, by the way, that may not even be the biggest storyline because we're at the Lady in Black. We're at Darlington Raceway tonight, boys and girls.
Yeah, the Lady in Black has to be tamed as it is. A very unique track. Not my favorite by any means as far as trying to control a car, but definitely is a driver's track, and it's challenging. Track position is going to be, a very important. Taking care of them tires here early and trying to get out there. They're going to be out here for 90 laps. So is it going to be 90 green flag laps? Is it going to be like 80 laps? But we've seen some great racing here at Darlington, so I have no doubt in my mind that these drivers are more than capable of coming out here and running a fantastic race for everybody out there, CRN, to watch. So looking forward to it. The competition is a little bit stiffer up top. So top 10s are going to be something that everybody's shooting for. And those top 10 drivers, some of the people may be coming back. We all know Nick Nickerson's fast. He's always been fast. I don't know if he's been out on the rig. So, coming back at Darlington, will it work out? We will find out as far as Nick goes. And, all the other drivers, we welcome them, obviously, with open arms from any of the series that we've covered and here on CRN. So definitely looking forward to those drivers coming here and having some fun, letting their hair down and just having a great race, because we know the drivers that are coming over, they're obviously clean drivers. So it's going to be good to see and see how they do and blend in with the rest of the field.
Well, we'll see what the standings look like coming into tonight. And as we mentioned, Alan Elwood on top of the boards by 49 points over Clayton Montgomery. Nico Garcia rounds out the top 3 for the platinum. In the gold, it is AJ Roderick by 39 over Justin Munsell. Jack Stoneman in third. Then you got in the silver, Justin Kirby up by 72 over Blake Erickson. Aiden Hines in third. In the bronze, Joey Cruz up by 11 over Dan Phelps and John Crane in third. And the bronze, just a reminder again, this is race number 12, and this is the start of the gauntlet that we've talked about. We got just a bevy of back-to-back races here before the playoff start of really tough races. Starts right here at Darlington tonight. And speaking of starts, why don't you give us that starting lineup there, Jimmy?
Yeah, starting lineup, 30 drivers out here tonight, and to make sure that they get a good start here tonight. It's going to be Alan Elwood out front with Richard Thomas, Shane Thurian in third. Nick Nickerson is going to pull in fourth. Tommy Ryan in fifth. Clayton Montgomery in sixth. Jack Stoneman seventh. Nico Garcia eighth. Joe Sullivan in ninth. Justin Kirby in 10th. Jeff Ryan and Tyler Skozen will make up row number 6. Row number 7, JP Phillips and AJ Roderick. Row number 8, Josh Van Westen and Davey Hendricks. Row number 9, Kevin Foster and Matt Crockett. And then back to the rest of the field, we will have Dan Phelps and Bronson Stafford for row number 10. Row number 11, Blake Erickson and Tater Bowman. Row number 12, Louis Orduña and John Crane. James Scioli and John Nobinger back there in row number 13. Row number 14, Robert Kenny and Jeremy Gainey. And Joey Cruz and Kenny Hines make up our last row. So a few drivers are electing not to take time or to put in times, or maybe the Lady in Black reached out and bit them. But the last 5, so James Scioli, Nobinger, Kenny, Gainey, Cruz, and Hines all starting from the back here tonight. Cruz was able to qualify this week, so obviously having been taking his bumps and bruises, but took it with stride and having some good finishes with those starting in the back. So maybe you see something starting in the back and see how it'll work out for him here tonight as well.
Well, the other thing we didn't mention, and one thing that these drivers love to do, and we love to see it as well, is when they come to Darlington here, just like in real life, it's kind of a throwback weekend, and I guess it's a throwback Tuesday here for the boys here in the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs, and you get to look at some of these cool throwback paint schemes. Obviously, you see Terry Labonte, you got Rusty Wallace out there, looking back a little bit further through the field here. I mean, just some absolutely beautiful paint schemes. And kind of, it just take you back with some of these. Obviously, right there, Tyler Skosen coming in there with the Jeff Gordon paint scheme, and a little Ward Burton action there with AJ Roderick. But I mean, just a lot of these paint schemes out here, whether it's throwback like it is here tonight, or any other kind of night here, these drivers put in a lot of time or a lot of money or both, in making these paint schemes look absolutely beautiful. But we're about ready to get this thing underway. We're going to send it down to Barnum. We got 90 laps on tap here at the beautiful Darlington Raceway. And we are Green Flag Racing.
Green Flag Racing, Barney waving that flag, let her rip, Tater Chip. Cars pulling out in the back, maybe just so they don't get into one another down that front stretch, but it's a tough one going down in the turn number 1. You'll see them single file out pretty quickly here, as it is pretty difficult to run 2-1.
And you see how tight it is. I mean, looks like we got some action in the back. A few cars sliding sideways. No caution just yet. And there it is. Now the caution will come out. We'll take a look back and see what that happened. But turn 2 is definitely going to be one to kind of keep an eye on, kind of watch for sure. It is, Jimmy, in my opinion, one of the toughest oval corners to come out of, just by how you really have to kind of work in between 1 and 2. You have to get up high and kind of angle your car from the top to the bottom just to get out of there without sliding up into the wall. But looks like we already had some of that action already. We'll take a look back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a difficult track to go back here and take a look at it. It just looks like John Crane bouncing off the wall, getting into the side there, and everybody trying to check up. No bigger involved. Whoa, that was a close one there, but I don't know who that was. But that was close, almost sideswiped the 81.
I don't know if it was Joey Cruz here or not. We'll try and take a look back here and see. I thought I'd seen an 8 on the car. And we'll hop on board. No, it was not Joey Cruz. So we got that one out of the way. But yeah, I mean, just it can happen that quickly coming out of the corner, and you see just got a little bit too high there with the 11 there. John Crane off the corner, bounced off the wall, started a little bit of a mix-up there on the backstretch. But it's going to bring us under our first caution of the night, and Darlington is known for a little bit of a not necessarily caution fest, but it can beat up some cars very quickly, and not just on the virtual side here. It's known as the track too tough to tame, the Lady in Black, for a reason. It claims a lot of cars. I mean, it's got its own name for scraping up against the wall, the Darlington stripe. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know if you're brand new to Darlington here. It's a tight little track. I mean, you look at these corners, and Jimmy, it's about 17 cars wide in these corners, but because of the progressive banking, it's really only about 2 car widths wide. And when you go into these corners too wide, it doesn't feel like it's that wide. It feels like it's about a bike width.
Yeah, you're gonna find a certain way to run these cars, and the way it feels good. And obviously with them newer tires, and obviously the first lap a little sketch, the second lap a little better, third lap you're on fire, and then you're good for about 10 to 15 laps where it feels like your car can kind of do whatever it wants. And then all of a sudden, if you're not taking care of them tires, it just kind of goes away. And yeah, like you said, that exit out of 2 is can be brutal. Same with the 4, the exits are pretty insane. But even the mid-entry is where you basically, or the middle of the corner was where basically everybody messes up. They keep driving in too deep, the car gets tight on them because they're trying to brake, and the rotation just isn't there, and they go up and they slap that wall. So they'll either slap it mid-corner or slap it coming out, or give it too much gas and bring the rear end around. So they got a lot to battle with tonight, but right now it was just a little couple fender benders, not too bad of an ordeal towards the back of the pack, but we're going to get going here again with Alan Elwood out front. Looks like Shane Therian. Oh, no, Thomas Elwood, Therian, Nick Nickerson, Tommy Ryan, still for your top 5, and then Clayton, Nick Garcia, Jack Stoneman, Justin Kirby, and Joe Sullivan in the top 10.
Yeah, it's going to be Richard Thomas here at the point. He is a control car. He elects the outside line here for the restart. Got to watch for a wheel spin here early. You got the cold tires still out there. Didn't really get a chance to get them warm. But the 27 is off and running. And we will have a restart here at Darlington. The question is, can we get this thing kind of spread out here a little bit? It's very, very tough to pass here at Darlington, even when you're kind of up to speed here. So when you get these restarts, that's when everybody is bunched up. They're eager to try and make some passes. You see back here, James Scioli down the backstretch, already trying to gain some positions. He likes starting from the back. He likes not qualifying and trying to run through the field, and he's got plenty of talent to do so. This is a track that is very sketchy to make your way through the field, so certainly good on him to already be up 8 position to up into 17th place. But they're all chasing the Rusty Wallace paint scheme there on Richard Thomas, currently in the lead.
Yeah, run away with the good old Rusty Wallace kind of paint scheme, spiffed up there by the Simrat Market in their own design there for the black and gold, but you know, are the boys back in town? I mean, they're following them around, so let's see if they can keep up with them and we'll see what Mark has for them. But back in the field here, you see a little 2 wide action there with J.P. Phillips on that outside.
Phillips going to make the pass, and it looks like AJ Runner going to follow along. And Jeff Ryan just kind of sliding back right now, as now to the inside goes a 0-0 of Davey Hendricks as well. And kind of a bit of a silly season, if you will, when it comes to some of these numbers. Some of the drivers changing up their numbers here as some numbers have been released within the league here. So some drivers represent maybe some different numbers that you're used to seeing. Some drivers that had a 0 in front of the number, if they're the number without the 0 was available, they've switched. So it's just some differentness out there. Like I know Blake Erickson, for instance, switched from the 089 to the 89 back towards the back of the pack right now. But it is plenty of talent in this field, as we mentioned pre-race. I mean, there was already a ton of talent to begin with in this Core Xfinity series, but just these last couple of weeks and even kind of culminating up to this week has just gotten tougher and tougher to get a podium, to get a top 5. Now, I mean, I feel like you need to have a damn near perfect race, or things fall exactly your way, or the perfect race strategy, whatever you want to have, just to get a top 10. I mean, this is a full-fledged field right now, and a good showing out here. 30 drivers out here for Darlington. Starting to spread out here a little bit, trying to get the track map going. Look at, there we go. Just going to talk crap about it a little bit. Finally get the track map up there. I've been trying since the beginning of this race, and there we go. Get the straight out there. And for everybody that's new in the field, you take a look at the colors of the numbers on there. That is the division that these drivers are in. So you look at the kind of the light blue, the tealish numbers. Those are your quote-unquote top drivers. That's the top division. That is the platinum division. The gold drivers are in the gold division, the silver in the silver, and then the bronze in the bronze, and then we got a couple others in there. The red numbers are rookies. They have not run in 5 races yet on oval in core, so once they do, they'll be slotted into their division. And then Richard Thomas there at the top, he's just running a one-off race, and Jimmy's doing a heck of a job for a one-off race up there leading this field.
Yeah, some drivers just they like to get out here and throw down some laps on some of these unique ovals, and good on them, because that's why iRacing is so popular. There's so many different things that you can do with it, and as far as racing, you got NASCAR type circuits here, Xfinity trucks, the new next gen car, you can go old school, go 87s, you do open tires with like some Indy cars, or even the Formula cars. I got some of those. They're not very popular, but they're out there. You got Skippies, you got OVs, you got, and then let's talk about road racing. You got GT3s, GT4s, M2s, MX5s. I got them all, Carl. There's so much going on here with iRacing, and they they do a pretty good job. I mean, I know a lot of people give it grief, maybe because it's been around a long time. It's the old dog, but they have constant scheduling, they got constant updates, and they're working on it as big and as massive as the community is here. So they just keep things coming, and there's always, when there's stuff out there, especially electronic stuff, there's always going to be a competitor. There's always somebody out there trying to come out with the next best thing. Oh, got a little slide action there by Matt Crockett, but it looks like he's going to maybe save it. Oh, he's got to slow down.
About half a corner, but it looks like the 10 does get it back underway as Hines into the wall there, just a little bit coming off the corner, but he's going to save it as well. And yeah, I think that the big thing is, Jimmy, is they could possibly even have more content. And I know there's some other simulators out there. You got like R Factory, you got a set of course of that maybe even have some more content or some different content. But what iRacing does is they don't just bring something out willy-nilly. They don't see that, the community wants the new GTE that just came out. They don't just, okay, well, let's draw it up here real quick and we'll throw it in there. No, they take their time, and just like they do with the tracks, they laser scan everything and they make sure it is as close as they can get to spec when it comes to the looks, but also when it comes to the feel, and they're always constantly trying to make changes. There's been so many different iterations of the tire model, trying to get everything to feel exactly how it should. I mean, even with the new hybrid cars, trying to make sure that now the GTPs have the hybrid system pulling out of the pits and actually coming up to speed, and it's something that they didn't have on initial launch, and some people complained about it, that it wasn't as realistic as they could go, and well, they made some tweaks and made it happen. So they do their due diligence. It's not just kind of throwing everything together willy-nilly. And got another scrape, and that is Jack Stoneman sideways. No caution. That is a completely damaged number 25. He's going to pull to the inside and check out of this race.
Ouch.
That is not a good one there for Jack Stoneman. He's going to have to tow it back to pit lane. Certainly going to lose some laps. I'm sure he's got a fast repair in the pits to maybe get back out there. You never know what happens in this race, but certainly work his way back up there with some wave rounds. But we've got a battle for the lead. Alan Elwood has reeled in Richard Thomas, and it is neck and neck here for the lead. We got some more battles back further in the pack as JP Phillips moving his way around the 56 of AJ Roderick, trying to keep up and keep pace with James Scioli, who is now up 15 positions into the top 10 as he is coming up on the backside of Tyler Scozen. And then on the back a little bit further in the pack, you got Joey Cruz up here in 18th. He's up 11 spots. Kenny Hines in 20th is up 10 spots as well. So some big movers through the field here, but at the front, it is side by side for the lead. Thomas on the outside, Elwood on the inside, Shane Therian right there, trying to get up there, get in the mix as well. And Shane would love to really stick it to these guys. Again, we talk about how much talent is out there in the field, but we haven't really talked too much about this 9 of Shane Therian. He's coming off a heck of a performance last week in the series here, getting the win at Michigan. And really, kind of capping off a little string of good races there. He could have won at Phoenix, had a pretty decent car at Vegas as well, and then did get the win at Michigan. So he's running a nice little hot streak here, running currently in third, but it is now the 5 of Alan Elwood at the front.
Yeah, as we're watching, Alan get around. A little tag there by the wall, or just maybe a little glitch there from iRacing. But Shane looking to get around the 27, but pay no attention to the number 2 for Mustang. Nick Nickerson showing that he still has the speed. He's up there with these drivers, and I think he's just waiting for either somebody to make a mistake or he's eventually going to make that move. I've seen him poke down there a few times, just kind of trying to buy his time. You have to be patient here. Darlington, you can't beat them tires up too bad. It's too early to make a mistake, or you won't have a good finish at all. But Shane Therian maybe getting that run down into turn number 3. Is going to be down that inside. Nick Nickerson looking down, looking high. Who's got the better run? They're making things work around here, but nowhere. But they are side by side. Pinched just a little bit. That's going to slow down Shane Therian. Oh, almost a touch coming around the front stretch.
And you see Therian kind of getting below that apron just a little bit on entry to try and get the car to rotate. And Thomas into the wall just a bit. Now big time into the wall. And we're going to see a bunch of our leaders down on the inside and off the racing line. But there it is. There's the caution, as it will come out this time. And you've seen it happen right there. Some tough, close racing for third place. And I mean, that's one thing when you have so much talent up here, you get a wreck towards the front. A lot of that talent is going to have some damage and going to be licking some wounds. We'll take a look at it here one more time. And we'll slow it down. And you see it looked like Therian maybe thought he was clear of Thomas, but Thomas gets into the wall. And I guess, well, Therian was clear, but Thomas clips the two of Nickerson. The two clips Therian. Tommy Ryan nowhere to go right there. The 7 of Clayton Montgomery, heck of a job avoiding the wreck right there. Gets it up the track right there and clear. Thomas is going to get away from that one pretty scot-free, all things considered. But certainly some damage to a few of the cars here that were running at the front. Mainly for Therian, Tommy Ryan, and Nick Nickerson getting some heavy damage here. But it's going to bring out a kind of a timely caution here right around a third of the way through this race, right around maybe when they're going to be thinking about pitting anyway. Certainly I know the Ward Burton paint scheme out there of AJ Roddick didn't mind this caution one bit. Gets to come in here under caution, make his pit stop. But this is going to be a caution right around lap 25 right now. So some good timing for a lot of these drivers, and a chance for I believe Jack Stoneman should have gotten the wave around right there. I believe he was the first car lap down, so you see now only 2 laps down, and so bring it back around here. But leading the cars off pit lane is going to be Alan Elwood at the front. Nico Garcia, fantastic pit stop right there, gets him up to second place. Justin Kirby all the way up to third. Clayton Montgomery in fourth. James Scioli all the way up to the top 5 now. So that's 78 working from the back all the way to the front now. And it looks like, is there a situation here for Clayton Montgomery? A little pit road penalty here. He is slow on the inside, letting a lot of cars by. That could very well be a penalty here for the 7.
Nothing
or he's got some issues or something. I'm not sure what's going on here. But he's letting a lot of cars go by.
Yeah, nothing on the tower for Clayton by any means, but definitely slowing down. And just want to give it, while we're talking here under caution and stuff, I just want to give a shout out to all the CRN viewers out there. Obviously, I see at least 18 people. If you haven't already, please hit the little thumbs up button. That'll help get the word out here on CRN and the great racing that happens, not only just with Core, but all the leagues that are out here. And just to say hi and glad everybody showed up. To see Brent Kirby out there rooting on for Justin. So Brent, get your butt out here. Need your driving, buddy.
Well, he's rooting for Justin because he's not on the track with him and you know, battling him, and you know how much these brothers hate each other, especially when they're driving each other. But I can sit on the track, so. Well, we got a brand new top 10 as you got Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Justin Kirby, James Scioli, Davey Hendricks for the top 5, Tyler Scozen, AJ Roderick, JP Phillips, Josh Van Westen, and Joe Sullivan for your top 10. It's in the hands and feet and control of that 5 of Alan Elwood on this restart here. He's going to bring him around turns 3 and 4 back into the Geico restart zone. We're going to get this thing back going here. Green flag again in the air here at Darlington. A little bit of a mix up towards the back. There's some cars catching up, but all in all, I think we are going to make it to at least turn number 1 here and see how this thing plays out. But got some new tires on a lot of these cars out here. We got to see how things play out right now. You got some cold tires. Scozen getting a little bit wobbly coming out of the corner there, but he is going to save it. Get back in line and even dig to get to the inside there of Kirby. Kirby sliding back here a little bit on the restart. But all in all, we're going to complete the lap, and big impact there for Kirby. He's going to get back in line. Hopefully didn't do too much damage to the outside of that 43. He did slap the wall pretty good coming out. And again, it's coming out of these corners. These corners have plenty of bacon to get through, but they really level off coming out of these corners, and it makes it tough to get off. No pun intended.
You're really got to be careful. They're really paying attention, obviously, and obviously when you're doing that close battle in there, you know, just trying to hold on to the car, it just looked like Kirby's car just kind of snapped like towards the wall, and he did a great job catching him. It doesn't look like there's much damage, if any at all, so hopefully he escaped that one, but a close one, and good catch there by the number 43 of Justin Kirby. We'll slide him back from 4th to 2, back to 6th, right? Oh, 3 into the wall, down to chasing, people chasing Nick Nicholson down to the inside again.
Yeah, some drivers trying to work their way back through this field. And again, it's not easy passing here at Darlington. And you can catch that wall so easily because you really need to use every inch of this track just to, you know, to get around with decent speed. And man, this is this track too tough to tame, and it's certainly being a little tough on these drivers out here tonight. But we still got plenty of racing to go. Coming up on a third of the way complete this time by. So still going to be 60 laps to go. A long race yet, and a lot can happen. But out front, it is Alan Elwood leading the way. Nico Garcia, James Scioli, Tyler Scozen, Davey Hendricks for your top 5. You got Kirby, Roderick, Phillips, Sullivan, and Stafford for your top 10.
Oh, up and on John over here. Catch it, buddy.
Oh, another one down towards the inside. Ericsson having some issues. Man, this new set of tires for all these drivers not exactly working out too well. And the 89 keeping it down towards the bottom. Looks like he is going to try and come into pit lane. That might be an unsafe entry, but he may just need to bring it in regardless. And yeah, he's going to stop. So might be the end of the night there for Ericsson. But back up here to the front, single file for the top 10 and maybe more on back.
Yeah, it looked like Ericsson's front right tire might have got busted when he hit that wall. He hit it pretty decent, so unfortunately for Ericsson as he pulled down the pit, but kept it. He was able to do the right thing. Obviously, stay calm, brought the car down onto the inside, out of the way, off the racing line. Got to go 3 wide here with Shane Darian down to the bottom of Jack Stone and trying to get that 9 back to the front. Obviously, it's a a challenge to get back up there when your teammates that you know were right on your tail or right there with you are out front in that clean air. So 9's got some work to do as he gets around underneath the number 73 of Orduna, and then he'll have to work his way up through the rest of the field as well. But that's gonna, if he can get around Orduna, that'll put him back up to P19. And you know, talk about some of these higher numbers, you know, it's not a bad thing if you say, I mean, there's a lot of talent here, Carl, like you said, we talked about earlier. You know, a good top 10, top 15, I think we're sitting pretty good amongst these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's especially like it's tough, and it's good that we have the divisions that we do here because, you know, you could be a silver and a bronze driver, and you can win your division by finishing in 16th place. I mean, there's so much you know, good talent that's out here in the field, and you look, for the most part, it's kind of settling in where it should be. You got the platinum drivers at the top, you got the gold drivers kind of sprinkled in there, the rest of the top 10, you got the silver driver, you got Kirby up there in 6th place, your points leader, and certainly if he didn't have his rough go for so long, you'd probably be up there battling in the gold division as well. But currently your silver division leader, Josh Van Wessen, right there in 12th is the next silver division driver. Top running gold driver, or bronze driver, is Cruz back there in 14th place, making a good run up through the field here. Once again, up 15 spots after starting second last on the field. But taking a look at Therian here, working his way through the field and getting around Nobinger, who's had a couple excursions up there close to and into the wall, but looks like he's maybe finally got that 44 under control for the time being. But it's such a tough track. I mean, you come from a track like last week at Michigan where you can run 5-6 wide and not even worry about anybody around you, and then you come here and the track looks just as wide. It looks just as wide as Michigan, but it's really only about 2 lanes wide at the top. And if you're out there and you're in the lead or you're defending, you're using both of those lines. I mean, you're entering turn 1 at the bottom, you're drifting up towards the top. You see what Alan Elwood's doing here, and then you're cutting down off of turn number 2. So you're using both those lines in turn number 1, in turn number 3, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. it's kind of, you know, pick your poison. A lot of times the drivers will start out down there on the bottom. Once the tire's wearing a little bit, they'll kind of work their way up towards the top line and try and keep as much grip as possible. But it's really, really tough, especially coming off of these corners. You have to make sure you're getting off of these corners at the right angles, or you're going to find the wall in the safety barrier pretty quickly here. But we've had a nice little restart here. Certainly stretched out at the front as we got the top, I want to say maybe 12 cars out here in that line, and they're all running behind the 5 of Alan Elwood. And I think it's to get a little bit of an understanding of how this is. We'll go ahead and jump on board with our second place driver right now, Nico Garcia, and kind of show you what he sees looking up here at the leader, and see how much you got to let it drift up there to the outside wall. And really, this is the toughest part, because the car really wants to get upset. It's almost to the point where it feels like it's off camera coming out of turn number 2, and then down to the bottom here in 3. Sometimes you'll see the driver's going to drift up and do the same thing here, but Garcia keeping it tucked all the way down there at the bottom. And then again, you come up out of the turn number 4 there, and you're seeing a little bit of wheel work right there to try and keep that back end under control. But it is it's a scary little track here. It almost looks like a short track when you're going around here, but it's a mile and a third. I mean, it is not a small track. It's not a short track, Jimmy. It's over a mile, but it is just as dangerous as anyone out there.
I mean, I'm trying to venture back into the ovals again, Carl. I mean, I think I was scarred from a couple weeks ago trying to run the trucks on Martinsville, but Darlington's just a tricky track. I mean, it's that's why they call it the Lady in Black, getting your Darlington stripe. That Darlington sign that Nico Garcia got by, I hit that thing so many times I can't even count.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure every driver in this field has had a Darlington stripe at one point or another. It's so easy to get there and get in the mix. And no matter what car you're in, whether in the Xfinity cars here, whether you're in the trucks. I mean, heck, we've run the Spec Racer Fords around here. We run Mazda Miatas around here, and just about anything. It doesn't matter how slow it is, doesn't matter how small it is. You're gonna get close to the walls, and sometimes in it, like you're all right there, riding on board with John Crane.
It's all right.
You can get away with a little scrape here and there. You can get away with a little scrape. You can get away with a little stripe. It's those smacks that can knock that front right out of whack and make the handling really crappy. And this track, even though it's an oval, it is all about handling getting through here.
You know, he used to like this track a lot, and we haven't seen him in a while. I've seen him out there. He kind of stopped by one of our special events on our stream over on Twitch, and it was Paul Butler. Paul Butler loved this track. It would be great to see PD back out there, and he's kind of like behind the scenes, enjoying life for sure. And but it would be good to see Paul Butler back out there, some of the old crew that when I first joined the Corps, and see him come out here. But he loved this track time and time again, and he just for some reason just liked to come out here and run maps. And but another person that's been around a long time is Kevin Foster, and kind of hanging out towards the back here tonight. So either saving his car for later in the race for a later run or whatnot, but has a lot of fans out there watching. So you better get them moving, because you got Kelly out there, you got Missy out there. You better move your rear, Kev.
Yeah, and right now he is running 6th out of the gold drivers right now, as you got Tyler Skosen, Davey Hendricks in 4th and 5th. You got AJ Roderick up here in 7th. Joe Sullivan, Bronson Stafford in 9th and 10th. And then you go down here to 24th with Kevin Foster. But we're only just at the halfway point. We are literally right at halfway, so we got 45 laps left to go in this race. So still plenty of racing to go in the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. And want to as we always do, thank the sponsor here for the series and everything that he does. Obviously, he's loving life right now, being up front and getting plenty of clean air for the time being before he comes up on some lap cars here very soon. But Elwood Designs, as of course I grabbed the wrong thing here. Come on, there we go. Elwood Designs has been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012, specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles. And You can see plenty of them out there here tonight, as a lot of the EDE drivers, and I think all of them out there have a throwback paint scheme that they're running. They can also offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simratmarket.com, and you can find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or X as well. And they do put a lot of great paint schemes out there. And we've got another incident here, and unfortunately, Brent, that is not the way the 43 is supposed to look at the front end. Looks like that front left is completely damaged. He's hoping to just get that thing turned back around. Maybe drive it backwards to pit lane. And working around there. Maybe that might be enough to get him back to at least pit lane. We'll see
that
what...
front left is shot. The tire's not good. Somebody hit it pretty hard.
Oh, some close racing right here with the 00 of Davey Hendricks. Comes across his front nose and heavy impact to the inside wall. And you see right there, that front left is definitely broke. We'll take a look at it one more time here. And not sure if he thought he was clear or just kind of taking the natural line coming up off the corner, but the 00 is still out there. And surprisingly, Hendricks not really taking too much damage in the contact right there, at least initially with the 43. And yeah, still looks like that 00 is pretty clean at the very least. Maybe able to just come in there and have the crew work on it and fix it instead of taking that fast repair. But certainly a fast repair is going to be needed for that 43 of Justin Kirby.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Obviously, taking a beating there. Obviously, bringing it down. Looks like he's going to take some repairs. No fast repair this time by. This is going to have some work for him here tonight. But it's not over. Obviously, we're only halfway. And Roderick in that P4 loves himself some yellow cautions. First one right before a fuel stop. They're still. I don't think they can make it the rest of the way. So this is going to come down, to with this pit stop, what they decide to do. Whether did you take a little bit of less fuel, so when next time you come in, or do you take a full tank? There's all kinds of options these drivers have right now. The order is being jockeyed around, and it is Scioli up front with Scozen, Phillips, Roderick, and Therian as of right this second. But
well, that is because they decided to stay out. They decided not even to come in under this pit stop here, and a lot of the drivers that came in just taking a splash of fuel. So maybe trying to run this out a little bit further here, but certainly every driver out here is going to have to come back into the pits. They're not going to be able to make it on a 40-lap run here to finish this thing out. So at least one more pit stop in the works for these drivers. But at the front, going damn near back to front, is James Scioli. He's going to see his first clean air of the night in the 70. Tyler Scozen. Both of these drivers, kind of funny. We talked about pre-race. They were off on the eNASCAR college tour there for a little bit, running on the same night as us here in the Core Xfinity Series. So missed it for a few weeks, but they're back, and they're back on the front row here for this restart. Scioli on the pole here. He is the control car for this restart. Scozen in second. Phillips, Roderick, and Elwood going to round out your top 10, but still have plenty of drivers out there mixing it up. It looks like we still got 24 out there on the track. Got a few that are still getting some work done in pit lane, but we're going to go back to green this time by, and it's going to be down to 38 laps to go. So still, again, plenty of racing left to go. Plenty of things can happen. Plenty of drivers can make their own Darlington stripes, but it's going to be in control here by Scioli as we head to the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
Back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again. Some drivers getting a little squirrely there with those older tires at the front, but Scioli is going to control the field and lead them into turn number 1. Now, here's the question. Right about from here on back is where you'll see some of those drivers that have the older tires. And really, actually, just about everybody in the field still has the older tires. Only a couple drivers electing to take some new ones on that pit stop. So we'll see how it works out. But AJ Roderick losing a bunch of spots there little squirrely on the restart, back now to 8th place. But we are back under green, at least for the time being, side by side. Back behind him as you got Branson Stafford, Clayton Montgomery heading into 3 and 4. Actually, yeah, 1 and 2. Sorry, you have the wrong side here. It should be easy to pick out here, with 1 and 2 being a lot wider of an arc than 3 and 4. But down to the inside there, a heck of a move from Cruz as he's starting to make his way towards the front, up 16 spots at 13th.
Sorry, I had to move my camera angle around. Mine must be just a little bit different. I'm watching behind the fence. So I just changed a couple of cameras. I didn't get a chance to do that here earlier. But looking good here right now. Everybody's single file. You see the puff of smoke. I think that's just I think iRacing likes to do that to get us all excited in case somebody's going to hit that wall and bounce off. Yeah, right. Look, it's I mean, it's not a good thing, because usually that's some of the telltales that that you see, like when I was racing at Sebring Sunset, when you're going around, if you looked over the wall and somebody was sliding, you'd see the smoke just above the wall, and that was a telltale that that somebody was having issues up there. If you're a spotter or whoever's watching, you couldn't see up there, which is a good indicator to kind of look ahead. But some people don't look that far ahead. I just attempt to these days, anyways, or try to try to stay out of trouble. But hey, it doesn't always work. As I took the Porsche GT3 out. We covered the Algarve race, and I'm gonna try to get a roll. Yeah. That was a train wreck.
Yeah, about that.
Lost like a whole .93 safety rating. It was pretty bad. I'll have to gain it all back. But,
speaking of some craziness, I think it was Alan Elwood sliding through the turn there a little bit, and Kevin Foster did not mind that at all. Picked up about 3 or 4 spots just in one corner right there, as Foster's got some freshies on, and he is putting them to work. He is working his way up through the field right now, as looked like Nickerson maybe in the wall off the corner there. A few cars in front, as right now Foster is running behind Joey Cruz, who's got some fresh tires on as well, but a little bit of a pick move there from the 8. He's going to get 2 more cars here in turns 3 and 4 and move the 8 up to 7th. Boys and girls out there in the Sierra and the Sierra crowd are loving this right now, as he's coming up on another guy that he races with on Wednesday nights, and that is Nick Nickerson. Runs with him over in another league, but certainly doesn't mind coming up on him. He knows he's going to get plenty of room here from Nickerson. He's going to dive down the inside. Nickerson having a little bit of trouble there, getting up into the wall, maybe giving him just a little bit too much room, or scared of the speed right now that 8's got. He is up to 6th place, hunting down your top 5.
Yeah, and obviously Kevin was kind of hanging back. He was able to maintain on the lead lap, stay out of trouble, and Kevin's found himself in sticky predicaments in the past few races, getting collected, in a caution of some sort, and netting him not a very good finish. But some drivers coming down in the pit lane. Yeah,
I think Kevin was going to make a pass there, and then all of a sudden, some cars in front of him were diving down in the pit lane. That's not what he expected. Luckily, he backed out of it and didn't get into the backside of those cars, as he's going to stay out there. But we do have some pit stops. JP Phillips, Tyler Scozen, Nick Nickerson, Luis Orduna, and AJ Roderick all in pit lane. And those are pretty much all the drivers that stayed out from the start. But one of the drivers that stayed out from the start, James Scioli, now finally coming in, but he had a bit of a lead there with some of the older tires. Maybe just a lighter fuel load was certainly helping him out. Now Joey Cruz going to join him in the pit lane, as is Shane Therian. It's going to give the lead back to Alan Elwood, but how long is he going to have it? That 8 is on the move into 2nd place now around Nico Garcia, as Kevin Foster looks to get the lead here, and haven't said it that much this season, other than really under some some fuel some fuel runs here, and some how everything works out as far as pit strategy. But how about this? Around the outside of Alan Elwood. Thank you very much, Kevin Foster, to the lead.
Well, he made it. He just said he had to move it. I mean, he got there.
And really, that's what he needs to do. I mean, he's got those newer tires. He's got to put them to work right now. He's got to try and build up as much of a gap as possible.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to, they can't make it the rest of the way from when they came in. And if they can, they're going to be saving right about now. And they have 26 laps. I think they went 30 something. Yeah. No, they went 26 laps.
Yeah, certainly not going to be able to make the 40 lap run that you would need here, and may not need to, as Orduna having some issues at the bottom. He's going around, but he will stay under green. It's down there off the track. So the 73 is going to get it fired back up and pull away. It's not going to be yellow, and that's exactly what Foster wanted to see. I think maybe some of the guys right behind him, Elwood, Nico Garcia, maybe they thought that might have been a caution. They dive into the pits here real quick, or maybe it was just a scheduled pit stop. But Elwood, Garcia, Montgomery, Hendricks, all teammates coming down in the pit lane this time by. So it's going to be Kevin Foster at the front. Tommy Ryan now slots into second. You see all the smoke there left from Luis Orduna's car, trying to limp off and get off the track there. Bronson Stafford in third.
Moved in.
Joe Sullivan there in fourth. And Richard Thomas up there in fifth place. But now the question is, right now you got the top 12 that have yet to come into the pits and make their final pit stop. Pretty much everybody else should be good to go to the end. When do the top 12 come in is the question. I mean, this is a track that certainly can bring out cautions, but we've seen that so many times, Jimmy, that there's 2, 3, 4 cars in a wreck. And we almost seen it with the caution earlier in the race, where 2, 3 cars were in a wreck, but they were down all the way on the bottom, and almost a yellow didn't come out for them. It's so wide of a track, as long as the cars are off the racing line, sometimes iRacing won't throw out that caution. So it's tough. I mean, I don't mind these guys staying out here, hoping that maybe a caution comes out late and maybe they're on the right foot here. But for the time being, that 8 is out front.
Well, they wanted to have it. These top 12 want that caution to come out. Something obviously, as long as it's not them. 12 drivers on the racing on the lead lap right now. Scioli's the only one with the lucky dog position at the moment, as he's in battle. He just got around Cruz, so obviously those drivers that are one lap down are going to have to continue to fight for that lucky dog position until leaders decide to come in for the rest of their fuel, and then decide what they want to do. Are they going to take 2? What are they going to do? So they have some time left. Obviously, we're down to 23 laps. So, it's almost in that window where if they're going to come in, they might come in, or they might stretch that fuel out and hope for a caution and keep those those drivers kind of pinned down there, and then come in for their fresh tires and just have a benefit, and they should be able to drive away from them. So we'll see how things kind of play out here as we are on lap 69 or 90 with Kevin Foster in the lead, then Tommy Ryan, Bronson Stafford, Joe Sullivan in fourth, Richard Thomas, John Van Westen, Taylor Bowman finds himself up there as well. He's in 7th place. John Nobringer's in 8th, Gainey's in 9th, Matt Crockett's in 10th. If you asked, like you asked me in the beginning of the race, Carl, who was going to be up in the top 10, I don't know if I would have called out this order.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the top 12 still need to come in the pit lane, but it's kind of funny. We've seen the Platinum drivers all dominate in the beginning. None of them inside the top 12 right now. I mean, you got Richie Thomas, your starter on the outside of the front row there, but he's still got to pit himself. But now coming up on some lap traffic there, very close behind John Crane was your leader, Kevin Foster, but we're going to keep it green here. Now John Nobinger is going to be the first of those top 12 to peel it off and go into pit lane. Comes in there smoothly as we got 20 laps to go here. Looks like Dan Phelps also going to bring it in. John Crane going to come in as well. So now we're down to 9 as Kevin Foster completes another lap. He's certainly known for fuel saving. We've seen it before from Kevin, but this would be a Herculean effort to make it a 41 lap run to finish out this thing. So I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see, but I'm not holding my breath.
I want to put it past him, at least give it a good college try. But Kevin's master at saving fuel. I don't know how he does it sometimes. Obviously taking care of the car right now early in the race. He finds himself out front leading a bunch of laps here at Darlington. giving the fans a great show. Tommy Ryan back there in P number 2, and then Stafford in 3rd. So everybody's kind of spread out a little bit. Looks like Sullivan is in the tails of Stafford, so they're not too far apart for 3rd.
Look at the battle back here. Nickerson and Skozen working their way around Tommy Ryan, trying to see where he is slotted in. Oh yeah, Tommy Ryan's in 2nd. That's why he was going so slow. I was wondering how they if he made the pit stop or what the case would be. Yeah, Alan Elwood making his way by now as well, but Thomas Skozen sitting in a pretty good spot right now. 2nd place out of the cars that made their final pit stops already. James Scioli is the one that's leading them right now, and leading by a pretty healthy margin, 2.6 seconds between Scioli and Skozen. So I guess the question is right now, I mean, if we don't have a caution to finish this thing out, you have a set of tires left in the pits for that top 9 guys. It's certainly going to help out when you come back out of the pits. But right now, you're losing a ton of time for these drivers that have those fresh tires. If the caution comes out, they are absolutely sitting pretty. But it is it's tough sledding for them right now. You see how slow they are compared to the rest of the field. I mean, right now, Scioli running a 31.44 that last time by. Kevin Foster a 31.4, so a full second slower are the cars that are still out there waiting to make their final pit stop. A little battle here between Van Weston and Bowman for 6th and 7th.
They're just doing a great job back here right now. So 121 of Van Weston in 7th. Tater Bowman back there in the 095. Obviously, we were expecting to see Tater last week having some technical difficulties with some equipment. I guess he just had to knock the dust off. I've been telling Tater for the past 2 years to get back out here on the track, and finally we see his presence out on the track and doing a pretty decent job right at the moment as he sits there in P number 7. But right now, it's Kevin Foster out front, Tommy Ryan, Stafford for 1, 2, 3. But we're back here watching the battle with Alan Elwood, and it looks like Nick Nickerson has caught on the bumper there, or did Elwood get around?
Yeah, Nickerson sliding back here a little bit as Elwood was able to get around. This is essentially the battle for 2nd place, as we're watching Skozen right now in 11th place, Alan Elwood in 12th, and then Nickerson in 13th as Elwood goes around the outside here. The same move that Foster pulled on him. Gonna get it done heading off into turn number 1. So he is 2nd in line of all the drivers that have come in and made their pit stop. And that top 9 still hanging it out there. And if you're wondering, all of them in that top 9 pit on lap number 50. Nobody, came in for a 2nd time or anything like that. It is all lap 50 pit stops here. And now Jeremy Gainey is going to pull off, and he is going to take his pit stop from the 9th position. Still, everyone is out there chasing the number 8, and his battle that we just seen, you see Scioli right there unlaps himself. So now we once again have 9 back on the lead lap. Alan Elwood coming up behind as well, looking to run down Scioli and try and get him with 3 lap newer tires. But here comes your leader, I believe. Oh, Foster missing pit entry right there. He is going to have to go around again, and that is devastating for the 8. That is not what you want to have happen. He could not get that thing slowed down. He's going to go around again. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to get that thing around one more time. That is certainly going to hurt his chances. Now, I guess the question is, we haven't talked about it too much, but Tommy Ryan has not exactly been playing blazing times in 2nd place. Has the 099 been saving it all? Is now a little better entry this time from Kevin Foster. Now the 099 is going to take over the lead. So first time we're seeing Tommy Ryan at the front of this field. What is he doing in regards to fuel?
He has so much patience, Carl. I would not doubt if he was saved. He's another one like Kevin Foster, obviously smooth, fast, consistent, and just, he could save. I know he could save too, but wow, I wouldn't be surprised. I wasn't even thinking, because Kevin Foster was stealing the show out there and just being known for his great fuel-saving strategies in the past. But yeah, you can see that he's definitely just taking his time, just no rush. He's got 9 laps to go.
Yeah, and realistically, I mean, the first car that he's got to worry about that's made their pit stops is Scioli back there in 6th. but he's 17.25 seconds behind. Certainly gaining on him hand and fist. Tommy Ryan running basically a 32-second lap that last time by. Scioli running a 30.71, so plenty of time gained. But is there enough time is the question. I mean, we're down to 8 laps to go this time by. See these other cars flying by, but Tommy doesn't mind at all. It's Tommy Ryan, Joe Sullivan, Bronson Stafford, Tater Bowman, Josh Van Westen for your top 5. Now Bronson Stafford is going to come into the pits for his final pit stop. So that's one more car that's not going to make it to the end. And I know Tommy is running the preferred line there, running up in the high side in between 1 and 2. I keep that thing tucked down at the bottom, making it as short as possible, trying to stretch this thing out on fuel. But hey, what do I know? That's why we're up here in the booth, Jimmy.
He just has it clutched in like blah blah blah, like I'm getting around here. As you see the driver in front of him there, he's having their hands full there. Yeah,
Joey Cruz has been on the wall a couple times in front of him.
Definitely in no rush to even push him. He's just kind of hanging back there, maybe just using him for a fuel saver, a little bit of a drop.
Well, as of right now, Scioli is back up to third. Tater Bowman in the pits as well. So it's down to Ryan, Sullivan, and Van Westen are the 3 that have yet to come in the pits. And there comes Tommy Ryan, not going to make it to the end. It's 6 laps to go at the line here. And now the question is, does Joe Sullivan have enough? As he has not got enough room, I don't believe, in between him and Scioli, as Scioli is only 5.7 seconds ahead of him. But Sullivan is going to be the last one out there trying to make this thing to the end. Van Westen also comes into the pits. Is there any chance that this 76 can stretch it to the end? I mean, as of right now, even if you can't win this race, if you can just clutch it in here, you may be able to steal a top 5 out of this thing.
I mean, if he's got it, run it. I mean, you get this close and you're like, I can make it. I know I can make it. I mean, it's going up to his head, or he wants to make it because you know how much time you're going to lose. So it's just like, if you clutch it in around here and use a portion of this fuel, and I could still kick myself, a good top 5 or top 10, it would be a big win here for Joe.
Yeah, I mean, you look, you seen earlier, Kevin Foster was in the lead. He's now back in 16th position, 1 lap down. So that's how much time Sullivan faces losing here. But right now, he is not looking at losing at all. He is 4 laps away from this thing. Can he get it done? Can he reach it all the way to the end? Whether it's for a win or not. I mean, right now, Scioli closing fast. He's the second car in line behind him right now. 1.5 seconds behind the 76. But I think Sullivan is just trying to figure out how to get this thing all the way to the end. He's got Nobinger on the inside, on-lapping himself. Scioli's going to be the next one coming up, and he'll be the one that is going to be taking over the lead and looking to come back to the Core Xfinity Series with a win. Right up to the backside of Sullivan, and Scioli's going to dive down to the inside, take the lead back. You see the car right behind him. That is Kevin Foster. You wonder what new tires will do right there. Closes right in on your leader and going to go right around the outside like Scioli's sitting still. So Foster back up on the lead lap and up in 16th place right now, trying to run down Nobinger to get a top 15. Scioli is in the lead, and he's got a 3-second lead over Alan Elwood, so no threat there. Sullivan trying to just limp this thing home, and you never know. He can maybe even get a podium out of this thing yet. 2 laps to go here at Darlington. He's got Alan Elwood running up behind right now. That is technically the battle for second. It's not really going to be much of a battle. Excuse me, as Elwood drives it in to turn number 3. He's going to take the inside and take over second place, as Sullivan very slow coming off the corner, keeping an eye on that speed there. But Scioli has taken the white flag. 1 more lap to go here around Darlington. It's been a heck of a return for the 70. He started towards the back of the field, started back there in 25th position, and he's going to go through 24 of them to get the win here tonight. Just got to go through turns 3 and 4 one more time. And James Scioli gets his 2nd win here on the season. Welcome back to the series, as Scioli's going to get the win. Elwood's going to finish in 2nd. Sullivan limping back to the line. He's out of fuel. Where is he going to fall to? Still a top 10. Gets 8th position, and I think he'd absolutely take that, all things considered. As he's gonna, he's just gonna park it there and tow it back there. But Scioli, Elwood, and Skozen. So how about that? The two boys that were out of the series for a little bit, doing their college thing, running the eNASCAR College Series, both finish in the top 3. As Scioli finishes first, Skozen finishes in 3rd. Your points leader, Alan Elwood, gonna have to settle for 2nd place here tonight. Heck of a run from all these boys out here. It was a great race for sure, and really, you know, Darlington could be a lot more tougher than this when it comes to yellows. But I mean, I think all things considered, this was a pretty good race from this 30-car field.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for, I mean, a much better race. I mean, I don't think the professionals keep it this clean half the time. So, but getting a good win here. James Scioli and then Alan Elwood there in 2nd. Tyler Skozen is going to bring home in 3rd. And then you have we'll go just run them down the field just real quick. You have Nico Garcia, welcome back. Nick Nickerson finishes in 5th. JP Phillips works his way back up to a top 6. So welcome to the league there, JP. Clayton Montgomery finishing in 7th. Joe Sullivan finishes in 8th after that great extension of fuel. Shane Therian will come back and finish in 9th after having some early incidents. Davey Hendricks will finish 10th. AJ Roderick, I guess they weren't all green flag pits or caution pit stops, so he finishes back there in 11th. Richard Thomas, after leading a few laps, will finish in 12th. Joey Cruz will be in 13th. Tommy Rhines in 14th. Kevin Foster in 15th. Bronson Stafford's in 16th. John Nobinger in 17th. Jeremy Guinness finishes in 18th. And then you have Tater Bowman finishing in 19th, Dan Phelps, Josh Van Weston, Matt Crockett, John Crane, Jeff Ryan, Robert Kenny, Justin Kirby, Louis Arduna, Jack Stoneman, Blake Erickson, and Kenny Hines rounded out your 30-car field here tonight at Darlington.
Once again, I want to send a shout out to all the fans out there in CRN Nation. It was some awesome numbers all race long, and hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As we got great racing series all throughout the week here. It's a blast. I know, Jimmy, me and you talk about it all the time, and we of course we love looking forward to getting out there and getting in the car and racing, especially when it comes to the endurance races. But I mean, second to none is being up here in the booth watching these great series that we cover here on CRN.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I have too much fun. I don't know what I would do on Tuesday nights, not covering a race. I know we did some racing there for a while, but come like the weekly ritual, like just, you know, kind of in here and should put on a good show for the fans out there to watch, and, you know, the different leagues that are out there that want us to broadcast for them, and we appreciate it. So, and we enjoy doing what we do. So, but definitely we don't do it, you know, just because. I mean, we want to share it with the fans and the friends and the family that are out there. So, you know, you don't have to buy your own version of iRacing and a big old computer and all the content. You can just log on to CRN and watch your favorite driver.
And there's certainly plenty of them out there. I know we certainly have some fan favorites out there, and it was damn good fun watching all these drivers out here tonight. But let's go ahead and start with our interviews here. We got 3, maybe 4 interviews that we'll get to. Obviously, the top 3 is where we're going to start here tonight, and trying to make sure we get to a spot here. There we go. So 3rd place here tonight is going to be as he just leaves. So I guess we'll get to Tyler here in a second. So we'll just go ahead and jump right to our 2nd place finisher, and that's going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. Alan, heck of a run from all you drivers out there, as this series just is ramping up more and more. I mean, obviously, you know what James brings to the table, getting the win here tonight. But I mean, really, it just seems like week in, week out, there's 1 or 2 or 3 more drivers coming into the series that add to the talent level and the talent pool here. How tough is it out there? I mean, how does it feel like it's actually getting tougher week in, week out for you?
Yeah, there is definitely some new guys showing up that are fast, and it's, I think, good for the series to make it more entertaining, makes everybody better. It makes it really difficult when cautions decide to come out right at that line of do you pit or not pit, like both times tonight. So I don't know if that was cool or sucked, but probably made for interesting calls there. I know we were, our team was going back and forth with what do we do, what do we not do. And I wasn't in the mood to fuel save, so most of us on the team were, I think it was kind of split 50-50 actually. The guys that stayed out and the guys that pitted. I wanted to be able to have that assurance and then pit for tires whenever I wanted, and I felt like that was going to be the key to probably pulling off a win. But circumstances dictated otherwise, so yeah, I think we made the right call. It just didn't work out.
Well, I mean, either way, it's still another good finish. It's another good points night as we start this little gauntlet here in the schedule. I mean, all in all, anytime at Darlington, a top 3 has got to feel good. A top 5 is good. Top 2 is just as good. I know you're one spot short of the win here tonight, but I mean, are you happy with the second place and you can kind of just move on and move to the next one?
Yes and no. I mean, I felt like I had the winning car tonight. I felt like I had the speed, short run and long run, to make it work and be able to save the tires and do what I needed to do. And even at the end there, I felt like I had the speed to go catch James and just got stuck behind a couple people. Not really sure what they were doing, but that kind of slowed momentum. And then at that point, it's game over. But yeah, I mean, second's cool. Competitive side of me, I always want to win, so kind of sucks. But hey, it's a teammate winning, so I can't knock it too much. It's nice to have James back here again after doing the College Series stuff. So hats off to him for pulling it off and navigating the traffic, I guess, a little bit better than I did.
Absolutely. Well, either way, congrats on the second place here tonight, and just a whole bevy of beautiful cars out there from you guys and Simrat Market. So thank you for putting on the great show and looking good out there as well. So before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, I first off, just appreciate the kind words on that. We take pride in our schemes and having our cars look good out on track, and had a lot of fun making those this week and the past few weeks. So it was really cool to see them out all on track and looking good out there. Just of course. First shout out to EDE, had a whole bunch of strong runs tonight. Glad to have Rich back as well, running with us. So really full on team effort tonight. It was great. Of course, Simrat Market, Radrick Racing Development, VRS, you guys up here calling a stellar race in the booth, and everybody watching at home online and seeing the show that we put on. And thanks everybody here in the league.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congrats on the finish here tonight. We'll see if you can maybe get the better of Scioli as you guys head over to it's another tough one next week at Bristol.
Yeah, we'll see.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Now we'll I think we'll finally get to our third place finisher. So Jimmy, we'll give you back to back here. So first we'll start off with the third place finisher, the 55 of Tyler Skozen.
Hey, Tyler, Jimmy and Carl, up in the booth to copy.
I sure do.
I want to give you a great interview, but that DuPont car is like hurting my eyes.
Well, I was trying to think of a good throw back there for a little bit, and I was like, let's just stick to the classic. It looks too good.
Okay. Jeff Gordon is not classic. You need to go back a few more years.
Hey, this scheme. Sure. Jeff Gordon may not be classic, but that scheme is classic. It's like 24 years old.
Harry Gant, Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin, Ernie Irvin, some of those drivers. And then we'll start talking about some real race car drivers. But anyways, you had a little time off doing the College Series there, and you finally come back here to Core, and you get yourself a pretty decent finish. So give us a rundown on how your race went for you here tonight.
Well, yes, it was definitely nice to be back here after doing the college stuff. That was fun to end out the year, and now I get to finally actually run every race at Core for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, the race was, I would say it didn't start out as good as I was hoping. I got a couple of those stripes in turn one, maybe like 3 times or so. And after that, I don't know, I just couldn't get back in a rhythm. And after that first pit stop and figuring out the tires a little bit, kind of got used to it. First, the beginning of the run, car was really, really good. middle of the run, it was able to, hang in with the others. But then, once it got low on fuel, I mean, the car just got unbelievably tight. And I was worried there towards the end that I got into the wall, probably the hardest I did all day with 10 to go or so. But from there, surprisingly, the car didn't handle that any different than it already did. It was just trying to adapt to the car being super tight on low fuel, but ended up figuring that out. Played a huge risk on that staying out there on the last caution. I was not confident that was going to work, but I was like, if I pit here, I mean, there's no chance I'm going to make it on fuel, and I don't really like to short pit that some of the leaders did. And once we got out there, I was just I'd much rather be on offense, as good as I could be here, and then got those fresh tires. It's definitely pretty good. Had Nick battling with me most of the time, but really didn't have anything for James there. Him managing to stay out a lap longer than I did before I pitted was a miracle. I don't know how I could do it. I was sputtering on pit road once I made my stop. I was like maybe 5 boxes away, and once I lifted, I was like, oh, there it goes. And thank goodness we made it there. So overall, though, it was great to finally have another good run here. Good points day for sure. Thought we maybe had a shot at the win. Not really sure we had anything, though, to compete with James. He was really good. Alan was also really good, passing us towards the end there. And glad I held off Nico. He was on better stuff than me, I guess, but just kind of caught some cars in some weird positions and managed to hold them off there at the end. So really good run there for us in the DuPont Flames, number 55. It was great to run up front again for once, and wish we got the Flames to win like Jeff Gordon did a couple of times, but that's all right. Maybe I'll have to run another throwback maybe when we go to Rockingham, but glad that strategy finally played out for me for once, because it never does. I'm terrible at strategy.
Well, it's part of racing, and obviously things always change. You can go one, caution after caution. You go something from green from start to finish. But Darlington always puts on a pretty decent show. There was some cars that had worse luck that kind of were off the race line. So iRacing didn't bring out those cautions. But overall, had, like you said, you had yourself a good run coming back here, and obviously now to get back in the full swing of things. Find yourself in that P number 3. So we'll give you a little time for any shouts on that number 55 here tonight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, shout out to James. Congrats to him on the win. All the other guys I raced against, Nico, Nick, Alan, all really good there. Thanks to everybody at UNOH Motorsports, everyone at UNOH for the support. Glad to run in this series and trying to chase down a championship in gold for us maybe. And of course, to everybody else that watches, you guys for broadcasting, all the people out there, my fan base, as I like to call it now, all of them for watching. And glad to get it done and excited for the next race. I don't even know where it is.
I'd have to look at the schedule. I'm all over
Bristol, baby.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I don't know.
Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Concrete soup bowls next.
I've won Bristol once, and I think that was about 4 years ago. So I'm gonna have to get back into that one and figure out how that track works again. But that would be fun.
It definitely should be a lot of fun seeing you back out there. So we'll let you again just say congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy, Carl. See you guys later.
Yes, sir.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight at the 55 of Tyler Skozen. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and keep it going here with these college boys, but this time with the winner, the 70 of James Scioli.
Hey, James, Jimmy, and Carlton, Booth, Cappy.
Yep, I got you guys.
Definitely had your hands full here tonight, coming from towards the back. So, walking away to win here at Darlington's always a challenge. One of the more challenging tracks I think that iRacing has, or for drivers to to do it successfully. And obviously for you to come from the back and finish here and first, obviously takes obviously good talent, speed, a good pit strategy, and a little bit of luck from the lady in black. So kind of lay it on the line, man. How did it work out for you here tonight after, you kind of took a break from us? You went over and did some official stuff. And then now you're back here with Core and getting that win again here at Core. So just give us a little rundown on your night and what worked for you.
Yeah, had some college series the last couple weeks, and it seems like whenever this season or this league's off, then the college series is off, and then whenever this league's on, college series is on. So have one more. Got the college series finale next Tuesday, so really looking forward to that. Racing for some big prizes there. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, tonight just all about kind of keeping the nose clean, coming through the field there in the first stint, and then got some yellows at an unfortunate time. Just with how only having 2 tire sets, you have to pit twice for fuel, and they just come out at tough times where you end up having to save, and people are on different strategies. Some people come in and take fuel and then are kind of hoping for a yellow on the back end of it. So honestly, just played the strategy that I thought was best for me and would get me the most track position. So we had that long run. I was saving the whole run behind Alan and Nico, and then they decided to pit there on the yellow and get a little bit of an advantage on the fuel. But I just kind of decided to stay out and keep the track position, take the lead. And then just once I did pit, just didn't have to save fuel anymore, could just kind of go hammer down and just get to the end, avoid the lap cars, and that's exactly what I was able to do. So nobody was able to quite catch me. I saw Alan was coming pretty quick, but some lap cars, kind of derailed his efforts there. So just definitely happy to keep the car clean tonight.
Yeah, definitely one of the biggest things is obviously I've seen a few incidents throughout the evening, and some of the guys, obviously the caution not getting flown or going down and towing real quick, to keep the rest of the racers keep going here green here tonight at Darlington. Is I'm sure you've had your fair share of officials here at Darlington, and they can be interesting. We'll put it that way. And
yeah, for sure.
And but it was good to see you out there. You had a good strategy. You kept your car clean, and you walked away the winner here tonight. And like you said, it's only a testament to obviously everything that you put together here at Darlington. So we want to say congratulations on the win and give you some time for any shout-outs that you may have in at number 70.
Yeah, I appreciate that. First, want to shout out you guys for broadcasting these races for us. We definitely appreciate it, and to the admin team as well. You guys are taking time out to do this for us, letting us race, so we really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. And then a huge shout out to Elwood Designs Esports and Alan Elwood for this JD McDuffie throwback. Shout out VRS, Roger Grayson Development, Simrat Market for being on the car, and hopefully we're talking to you guys again here shortly.
Yeah, well, if you're off next week doing your thing, maybe we can catch some clips of you doing what you need to do to maybe we'll come home with a big prize. But the rest of the core boys will be off to Bristol on the I call it the Concrete Soup Bowl. I don't like short tracks, but it has a special place in my heart since my very first iRacing win was there at Bristol. So go give, right? So, but either way, congratulations on tonight's finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Right on. Thanks for the kind words.
That is your winner here tonight, the 70 of James Scioli, and yeah, just another fantastic paint scheme by the boys over there at Simrat Market EDE Designs. I know Alan has his hands in quite a bit over there, but want to send a thank you once again out to our series sponsor, that being Elwood Designs. They've been making custom liveries for the iRacing community since 2012, specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles. They can offer designs on various other options within the service as well. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base design, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simratmarket.com, and you can find Elwood Designs online at Facebook or X. Once again, this is just the start of the gauntlet here in the season for these drivers here in the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs, as Darlington is done and dusted, but we head to the last great Coliseum, Bristol, next week. Rockingham, Talladega still stand in the way for all these drivers looking to try and make the playoffs. We'll get a little bit more in depth. We'll try and get on a little bit earlier next week and kind of give you an idea of what the playoff situation is looking like for all of these divisions, and dive in maybe a little bit more in depth either next week or the week after, because it's getting pretty close. By the end of April, we will have our playoff drivers in each of the divisions, so make sure you tune in for the rest of the racing here. This series is just getting better and better every single week, and a lot better drivers. I guess that the drivers have a little bit of a respite next week with Scioli not being here in the field, but that's only one driver. There's about 20 others that are hungry and looking for a win every single week. Thank you again for everyone that tuned in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that Siren has to offer. But for myself And Jimmy from the Lady in Black. We'll see you at the track.